My name is Dommonic Nelson, Dom for short. I'm a business architect and growth strategist. I normally get involved with businesses when things are breaking, or in the words of Miss Mary at Gatlin's Barbecue, when things are a hot mess, and I provide the structure and the system to allow them to scale without things breaking, without them losing profits, and most importantly, without antiquated teams and tools that may be holding them back. And that has led me to create my own company called the Yummy Box. And the Yummy Box in itself is an AI-powered pickup station. I'm grateful to say we deployed in 2017. So we've seen so many variations of this hospitality industry. But we got deep market stress test in 2017, filed our patents, learned the front of house, the back of house, the headaches that the restaurant industry as a whole is experiencing. And then that led us to our flagship location at Gatlin's Barbecue. And we successfully did over 33,000 automated pickups using our system, and got the recognition of like Damon John, Cisco WebEx, Chase Bank, Alibaba. Heck, I even won top 50 tech entrepreneur in America. And this all started from just an idea in the shower. So in 2017, my investor, Jay, he was ordering online to pick up an order, right? Like very easy. And it seems common today, right? But back then, ordering online was fast, but the pickup process was antiquated, it was slow. He ended up having to wait in line. So he comes to us and is like, hey, Dom, let's pivot, because originally we were on college campuses. He's like, let's pivot to the restaurant industry to streamline pickup, but also we'll be able to help the restaurants incentivize the everyday customers to pick up their order where their margins are the greatest. Now we know DoorDash, we know Uber Eats, we know Grubhub. I think it's enough space for everybody to benefit the restaurant and to benefit their own businesses. I think we're doing both. We're making it easier for the drivers to pick up without interrupting the staff, shoving phones in faces, but also making it more attractive for somebody to hit pause on Netflix and say, you know what, I'm gonna go grab my order so I can save on that delivery fee, or I can save on X, Y, and Z. So at that time, that's what we were seeing early on. When 2020 hit, the world changed, and it increased the value of our business just overall and got us the recognition that I mentioned. And then as of today, it's like, this actually works. We got over 42,000 total orders that solidify this. And now we want to make sure the restaurants can scale without having to constantly compromise their margins. And I think even earlier today, I read that restaurant industries, like last year, 60% of them didn't even actually make a full profit. I think that's a problem. I think restaurant owners, in my opinion, work extremely hard. So them working day in and day out and not making money, I think that's a combination of operations. I think it's a combination of tools. And that's what we want to do. We want to provide something that provides that value. I think first and foremost, like the first thing that I tell everybody is I'm not a vendor. My company is not a vendor. Like we're literally a partner. And our objective is to ensure that we win with you. I think it's easy to deploy something in the marketplace and be like, all right, that's X amount per month, or that's X up front, and then you vanish and they're left to figure it out. We don't do that, because I think that's a fundamental principle that allows relationships to be fruitful indefinitely. So that's number one. The other component to it is like industries are changing. I think first, when we started in 2017, there was a lot of independent operators that fell in love with their businesses because they took a recipe from their mom and turned it into a full-fledged business. But at the end of the day, I think every customer expects food to be good now. Like, that's not a selling point anymore. They expect it to be healthy. That's not a selling point anymore. What changed the world, in my opinion, is Jeff Bezos with Amazon. People want efficiency. And that's not just the restaurant, that's the everyday customer. So we've seen the transition from an ideology or a mindset of this is my restaurant, I love it, to this is my restaurant and I want it to scale. And in order to do that, I need the right tools and teams. And that's kind of like where we found our sweet spot. We don't try to convince them that they're doing anything wrong. We just say that's a pathway. The likelihood of it ending favorably is probably lower than what you want. This is another pathway, and we use data to support it. Can I tell you something that's cool though, for real? So like, because I'm been in operations for a long time, I really tell people to scrutinize what we do. I think information has always kind of been behind paywalls in some capacity, or you don't know the truth until like you sign paperwork and then you're like, oh, that's how they really are, or this is how it really works. For us, like we created a one-pager, but we tell restaurant operators, download that one-pager, then plug it into ChatGPT or Gemini or anything else. Download your profit margins for your takeout operations. See where you're losing money, where you're gaining money. upload that to ChatGPT and say, hey, with the Yummy Box, actually create value for my restaurant. Forget what I'm saying, like use the data that's in the entire world to evaluate us. I think that can help people too. It's like, you're not saying yes to anything that hasn't really been vetted, not just from the person that's trying to get you on board with it, but the industry as a whole. I don't want to make it like us versus them. I think it's so many different ways to serve off premise, right? If you zoom out just for a second and look at the industry, the entire market of America, takeout is being solved in one of three ways. Like you got the manual handoffs, like, hey, John's here, hand him his order. That's draining your staff, draining your labor hours. Then you got the mobile pickup shelves. It was a good fix for 2020. It came in, but it stayed too long. And now you have people just walking in, taking orders. So you got theft, you got compromise of orders, people searching through things that they shouldn't. And then the third thing that I'm seeing too is like, you have these mobile pickup windows. So people are knocking down walls. That's an expensive like construction project. So what we wanted to do with the AI powered pickup station is like say, we can fit here, but also how we benefit the third party is like, we don't charge for Uber Eats, DoorDash, and Grubhub to pick up. You already have your partnership with them. They can use the Yummy Box. So you automating the task from a complimentary standpoint. But if those 20 to 30% is still hurting you, well, the customer loves your online process, but they don't want to come in because they got to stand in line now, or they got to search through a shelf and it doesn't really look that appealing. So if we can get those customers to say, you know what, I am going to pause and I am going to come, that's 20 to 30% already coming back to you without having unnecessary third parties that may not be needed. But I don't think it's going to ever be an industry like it was before where everybody's hitting pause and coming into the restaurant. I think anybody thinking that is delusional, but I do think there's enough space for all of us to create value, you know, in the market for the restaurant that just wants people to have their amazing dish, whatever that may be. Like food quality is everything. You know, nobody likes stale fries. Nobody likes something that they just ordered. Now they got to heat it up, and putting it in the microwave is convenient, but it does change the quality of the food. So with us, like the inside of the Yummy Box, you can think of it like a pizza bag. It has installation. The same thing that HelloFresh uses with the installation they have is the same exact thing we've used. We didn't go out and reinvent the wheel. We found things that work. The invention on our part is the technology. So the food quality, we know how long something has sat in the box, so we can help you monitor your food quality. If I were to come in and say, hey man, this was, it didn't taste as fresh as it normally do. Well, hey, we saw you didn't come in until an hour later. And now it's not a debate, it's just trying to find a solution that works for both parties. That is missing data that restaurants don't have. Also being able to know how many takeout orders do you have, what's your actual customer information. These are all things we're sharing with them, the labor costs that they're saving. All of this is like transparently given so they can make more informed decisions. So the best way to think about it, to like paint the picture, is imagine you order from Gatlin's barbecue, right? Place your order online. You'll get a text message as a customer precisely when your order's ready. You'll reply OMW. That sends an alert to the restaurant. Hey, John is coming. Your order's inside the box, but you also get a verification code. So when you arrive, it tells you, type in your verification code, your order's in box 1, pin number 1234, grab your order and go. You're in and out in 20 seconds or less. The benefit for the restaurant is instead of that manual handoff, instead of that mobile pickup shelf, instead of knocking down the walls that we talked about, that whole verification, automated, the pickup, automated. So now you can take that team member and put them in a value-added task like the hospitality, greeting the guests, cleaning the table, or helping with marketing, because every restaurant got a market, no matter how big they are. When it comes to the partnership structure, one thing that I thought was annoying when we first got into the space is everybody treated these type of systems as you have to call and schedule a demo to learn about it, and then we're going to send you this extreme price, and then you got to make a decision. I didn't like that. I don't think nobody in the world buys anything without knowing what it costs, right? Or even scheduling a meeting without knowing what the potential cost could be. So for us, we put the price on our website. It's under $5,000 for this system, and then we charge per month for it. It's a software as a service. So we have 3 different tiers depending on the volume that you use. We don't want anybody to be charged for a tier 3 when they're a tier 1. We don't, you know what I mean? We want everybody to actually be able to grow and scale. So if you start off at a tier 1 and your volume grows because of our partnership and you get to a tier 3, it will be 100% justifiable to say, hey, I have to spend more for this, but it's actually creating me more value. So 5,000 or less. I want to share something unique about the Yummy Box though. Like, people say it's a locker. It's not a locker. Like, it's not. Like, a locker is what we put our gym clothes in. That's a locker. This has a full, robust back end that monitors your entire operation. This is technology. I got some great advice at the beginning that says anybody can build lockers, but not everybody can build great technology. We put all of our marbles into that. We built something that was cool in terms of it being sustainable. It's made out of salt, petroleum, chlorine. That's cool. And it's customizable. That's cool as well. And it has smart locks. That's cool too. But the main thing is like the technology component that plugs into your existing operations. You don't have to download no app. You don't have to integrate with any POS system. It's literally plug and play, ready to go. We wanted to bring something into the marketplace that's fully customizable, that matches the brand. Like, kind of like the art piece behind me, that's a part of the aesthetic of the space, right? It gives you this immersive experience. So with the Yummy Box, we can collaborate with your team and say, you know what? I want this to look like an art piece that also serves as a technology component. We can do it. Like with Gatlin's, you go in there, it's not an eyesore. It's not like, what is that? Like, it's like, oh, that's really nice, and it does that, you know? So that's big. We customize it. It matches the aesthetics. It looks like it was built for your brands. To be able to get the Yummy Box, right? Very simple. Go to the website, theyummybox.com, fill out the contact form. I have to say this though, because I think sometimes people think I'm signing this so I can get roped into a funnel. It's not that. We want to automate stuff. Instead of you having to get on a demo call and talk to us for 30 minutes to an hour, once you complete that form, immediately you'll get a 3-minute demo so you can see the technology, how it works for yourself. No pressure, you can vet it out, you can talk to your team, share with your wife, whoever, and then you can also get that one-pager. The one-pager, again, like I said, you plug that into your AI, whatever you use in ChatGPT, Gemini, and say, vet this out. And then after all of that is done, we follow up via email, saying, hey, you downloaded this, what did your AI say, or what did your team say? Is there a way where we can merge our energy and effort for mutual gain? And then in terms of locating me, I think if you're not on LinkedIn, you probably don't exist. So that's where I'm at. I clear out my inbox at least once a week, and I follow what we're doing closely. My primary goal as a CEO is to get 2 more flagship locations. We've been able to have a great run with Gatlin and still with them to this day. I think it's a big thing to go from single location deployment to multi-site location deployment. But the biggest thing is I never wanted to go into a business and say, hey, give us a try. We did our R&D on our own terms without compromising anyone else. Now we're ready to scale. So we're looking for restaurant operators today that are tired of the old way of doing takeout. They know it's not working, and they're ready to like stop immediately, as quickly as possible, the manual handoffs, and they want to do something called the digital handshake with the Yummy Box.